On April 23, 1985, Coca-Cola announced they were changing their formula. They had done 200,000 consumer taste tests. The new formula won every single one. This was the most tested product launch in history. 77 days later, Coca-Cola reversed the decision. They brought back the old formula. They called it Coca-Cola Classic. It became the most famous product failure in marketing history. And here is the strange part. The product itself was never the problem. Coca-Cola followed the research perfectly. They did everything a good marketing team is trained to do, and they still walked straight into a billion-dollar mistake. So what really happened? The answer might surprise you. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why Coca-Cola made this mistake, even with perfect data, unlimited budget, and the smartest marketing team in the world. And more important, you will walk away with 3 warning signs. Warning signs that tell you when a launch is about to repeat this exact error. This is not just a soda story. This applies to any brand, any product, any industry. Let us begin. In 1985, Coca-Cola was the most valuable brand on planet Earth. It was sold in over 155 countries. It outsold every other soft drink in America for almost 100 years straight. The recipe had barely changed since 1886. That was part of the magic. Coca-Cola was not just a drink, it was a fixed point in a changing world. But there was a problem hiding underneath that success. Pepsi had launched a campaign called the Pepsi Challenge. In city after city, Pepsi set up simple blind taste tests. No labels, no logos, just 2 cups, and again. Regular people picked Pepsi over Coca-Cola. Pepsi put these results on national television. Millions of people watched neighbors and strangers pick the wrong cola live on camera. For the first time in decades, Coca-Cola's own executives started to feel afraid. Not because sales were falling, sales were still strong. Coca-Cola was still the market leader by a wide margin. They were afraid because the story in the media had changed. The story was, Pepsi tastes better, and a company that had built an empire on being the real thing could not let that story stand. So the CEO, Roberto Goizueta, made a decision. Coca-Cola would fight this battle on Pepsi's chosen ground, taste. Most people think Coca-Cola panicked and rushed a bad decision. That is wrong. The real problem started much earlier than the launch date. It started the moment Coca-Cola accepted Pepsi's frame. They accepted that this was a taste war. So Coca-Cola's research team went to work. Over 2 years, they ran 200,000 blind taste tests in 25 cities. This was one of the largest product research programs in corporate history. They tested a new, sweeter formula against the original Coke. They tested it against Pepsi. The new formula won again and again. On paper, this was a total victory. In April 1985, Coca-Cola's leadership felt confident. They believed they had solved the Pepsi problem once and for all. They discontinued the original formula completely. There was no new flavor alongside the old one. The classic formula simply disappeared from shelves. This was the critical choice, not the new formula itself. The decision to remove the old one entirely. Nobody in the room asked a simple question. What if people do not want a better drink? What if they just want their drink? Here's the question. If the data was this strong, why did the launch still fail within weeks? The answer has nothing to do with the taste of the drink. It has everything to do with a mistake in what they were actually measuring. They asked one question over and over in 25 cities. Which drink tastes better? They never asked a second question. What does Coca-Cola mean to you? That second question is the one that mattered. And nobody in the research room was asking it. Everyone says new Coke failed because it tasted bad. That is wrong. In blind taste tests with no labels, people chose the new formula most of the time. The product was not the problem. The concept was. Coca-Cola confused a product decision with a product concept decision. Here is what that means. A product decision is about ingredients, formula, and packaging. It answers the question, what is inside the can? A product concept is about meaning. It answers a different question. What does this brand represent in the mind of the person drinking it? Coca-Cola Classic was never just a soft drink. It was American identity. It was a childhood memory. It was summer afternoons, baseball games, and family dinners. When Coca-Cola changed the formula, they thought they were changing a drink. This means they were actually trying to change a memory. And a taste test cannot measure a memory. You cannot ask someone in a lab, "Does this taste better?" and expect them to tell you, "But this is not who I am anymore." That feeling only shows up later. It shows up when the product reaches real shelves, real homes, and real identities. And that is exactly what happened. Within weeks of the launch, Coca-Cola received tens of thousands of angry phone calls and letters. Protest groups formed. One group even called itself the Old Cola Drinkers of America. People were not complaining about flavor in a controlled lab test. They were grieving something that felt personal. This is the core lesson. Taste is a product attribute. Identity is a product concept. Coca-Cola had perfect data on the first one. They had zero data on the second one. This means a company can be scientifically correct about the product and still be completely wrong about the launch. Think about it this way. If you replace the engine in a classic car with a faster one, the car may drive better. But if the owner bought that car for the memory of driving it with their father, a faster engine does not feel like an upgrade. It feels like a loss. Coca-Cola built a better engine. They forgot they were selling a memory. So here are 3 warning signs. Use these before your next launch, whether you sell a drink, an app, or a service. Lesson 1. Testing the wrong variable. Coca-Cola tested taste in a lab with no brand attached, no context, no history. A sip test cannot capture 99 years of memory. It only captures what happens in 5 seconds in a paper cup. This means a test without context can give you a perfect answer to the wrong question. How to protect yourself. Before you test a product, ask what the customer is really buying. Then design your test around that, not around the easiest thing to measure. Lesson 2. Ignoring the invisible product. The real product Coca-Cola sold was not liquid in a can. It was identity, nostalgia, and belonging. You cannot see this product on a lab bench. You cannot pour it into a cup. But it was worth more than the formula itself. This means your most valuable product feature might be something you cannot put in a lab test at all. How to protect yourself. Ask this question before every major change. If I change this, what emotional promise would I be breaking? Lesson 3. Confusing data with meaning. 200,000 taste tests is a huge number. It felt like proof. It was not proof of the right thing. Coca-Cola's team trusted the size of the study more than they questioned the design of the study. This means more data does not protect you if you are measuring the wrong variable. Big numbers can create false confidence. How to protect yourself. Before you trust a number, ask what question it is actually answering and what question it is silently ignoring. Remember those 200,000 people who said the new formula tasted better? Now you know why that did not matter. They were not tasting a drink. They were tasting a memory. Coca-Cola Classic did not survive because of its formula. It survived because millions of people were not ready to let go of what that red can meant to them. The lesson is not never innovate. Coca-Cola still innovates every year in flavors, packaging, and marketing. The lesson is know exactly which product you are changing, the one in the can or the one in the customer's mind. Change the wrong one and no amount of taste tests will save you. If you want to make sure your next launch does not repeat Coca-Cola's mistake, I built a simple tool for exactly this. It is called the Brand Positioning Canvas. It helps you separate your product features from your brand concept before you spend a single dollar on development. Download it free at ryansconsulting.com. The link is in the description. Use it before your next product decision, while it is still cheap to change your mind. I will see you in the next video.